All right, so I kind of ran a little bit long on some of that, but again, getting back to Gio here, talking about the prices there. I would have said that before, but now they are pretty much the same price now. First edition versus this new second edition. Now they both run about $20 on them, but if that's one way you can look at it. If you can find like a previous edition, you can get that. Sometimes it comes up like that. But going from there, like one thing to look for with, especially if you're getting like an older series, is to check all the volumes and see how much those are, and see if that's worth getting into for you. One series, Yumi Tamura's Basara series, which is, I think, 27 volumes, I think, and that series is long out of print, but you can find pretty much like 90% of it for the price you want to pay for it, except for, of course, volumes 19 and 20. I think those are the ones which run a ridiculous sum, which is almost criminal. Like, that people would like just sort of charge you out the hole for that. It's like if you're trying to sell something, you kind of wanna put it at a price that people want to pay for it with. It's what I've always found and what I've always heard of, that there's the price that something is worth, and then there's the price that people are going to pay for it. And more often than not, those two never meet. And it's just a case of like, no manga buyer is going to buy a single volume of a manga for like $100 if it's like one of these regular kind of digest size versions and not like some big elaborate fancy one. It's sad when things can go like that. I mean, there's other ones like that too. Hunter x Hunter was one that I was having a long time debating over how to get that series, because it got to the point where there was so much appreciation, so much accolades I was hearing about that series, especially because I was kind of like so on Yu Yu Hakusho, which was Togashi's previous series, which don't get me wrong, Yu Yu Hakusho is a good series. It's just that, I keep hearing like Hunter x Hunter being like on par with One Piece in at least of more than a few areas and a few places and such, that those are like both held in very high acclaim, that I was just like, really this series, this guy. And what's even more was when I was trying to look to get the series, that Volume 8 and especially Volume 14 were insanely expensive. But of course, in the case of Hunter x Hunter, it's less of one of those random, ridiculously expensive volumes, and more so that Volume 14 is the beginning of a new arc, specifically the Greed Island story arc of Hunter x Hunter. So I could at least see how that particular volume would be a little bit more pricey than other ones, as opposed to Knights of the Zodiac nowadays, but not when I was getting like Volume 10 and Volume 3 were ridiculously expensive. I did manage to get all of Knights of the Zodiac for a fair price. I think there was maybe one that I paid like maybe 15 or 20 for, but I mean, that's 27 volumes. That's gonna happen. But I did get the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, and I mean, now you if you look on Amazon or eBay for Knights of the Zodiac, those volumes are just getting a little bit more pricey, just here and there, sort of getting up there, and it's really unfortunate that happens. I know it's just mostly that Knights of the Zodiac just isn't that popular here in the States. I know that in France and in South America, Knights of Zodiac is like, it's like Dragon Ball Z here with how big and popular it is. But I mean, you know, that's just kind of how things work. And more than anything else, I would say do research before you dive into a series, because that's going to help you a lot. Every time I've ever gotten really screwed on a series is when I haven't done the research. Like with Lupin the Third, I just sort of dove into that expecting, oh, this is Lupin. There's no way that there could be like these big standout expensive volumes somewhere along in here, and it's like, nope, lo and behold, like volumes 13 and 14, pretty pricey. Volume 8 of World's Most Wanted, at least 40, which is ridiculous, you know, for me, the collector, to have to deal with that. But again, as far as doing research, just sort of look out. I usually look out like, how long is this series running? How long is it from in Japan that hasn't come over? Sort of like, how frequently is it getting released? And if that matches with kind of your manga buying habits. Like something like Hunter x Hunter and Berserk both have like about 30 volumes between the two. I mean, Hunter x Hunter is at 27 now, and Berserk is at 35 now. But also keep in mind that those series, like Togashi, has gone on multiple hiatuses throughout the production of that manga series because he refuses to use assistants to help him, which may or may not help the art of the story, or whether or not that's commendable or stupid, is what I'm trying to say. And Berserk, where that also usually gets like a volume a year, because from what I've heard, Miura is like just sort of on the edge with having a complete mental breakdown and playing little funny you know, idol. I think he plays some kind of like MMO thing called like Dancer Idol or something, and that keeps his sanity. And they're just sort of like not really putting the pressure on him to try and keep it going, because especially with these new really popular animated movies based on Berserk that they're making now, he's gonna be an even bigger cash cow than he already is with his series. But I mean, if you could think of it like, do you prefer getting a bunch of manga that, like, I mean, if you don't buy manga frequently, that would be a good route to take, because since they're not coming out as much, you can read your way up to it, take your time, and then get to that point. Or you could be like, you know, do I really want to wait around for that? And of course, I would tell you that it is worth the wait, but again, that's your own personal opinion on that. Let's see, we'll get into the next part here.